We are all familiar with the sight of pianists and even entire orchestras at the film screening of the silent era of the early cinema. However, hiring huge orchestras and musicians was very expensive. At that time, investors tried their best to tackle the situation by adding synchronized sound into film, and it became a success. But to understand how it was achieved, we need to go back and look at how it all started. In 1877, Thomas Edison, an American inventor and businessman, developed the first recording device ever made, the phonograph. How does it work? The bell shaped microphone collects sound, which vibrates through the bell, shaking the needle attached to the end of the bell and creating a line or groove in the tinfoil. In 1884, Thomas Edison and another American inventor, Larry Dixon, together invented the kinetoscope and the kinetophone. The kinetoscope was a device where you could watch films through a magnifying lens, while the kinetophone was a kinetoscope connected to a phonograph. It was an attempt to combine sound with the picture. However, keeping synchronized sound was impossible for these machines at the time. Here is an example of a kinetophone film that is the only surviving film to exist. In 1900, the Paris World Fair exhibited three new phonographic sync devices: the Phonorama, Chronophone, and the Phono Cinema Theatre. However, the three main problems for those devices were that they were easy to lose sync, had no amplification, and had limited recording time. Though, that would all change in a few years. In 1990, three German inventors, Joseph Angel, Joseph Marshall, and Hans Marshall, developed the Triagon. How does it work? A microphone was connected to a light bulb. This way, the audio waves collected by the microphone were converted into electricity, which would power a light bulb. When the light bulb starts shining, it will be photographed on the film strip negative. When played back, a light would shine through a audio strip onto a reader, converting the light back into electricity and sound. This solved the sync and length issue, but not amplification. However, in 1909, another American inventor, Lee DeForest, tackled the amplification problem by inventing the audio tube. The audio tube was the first electronic device that could take a small signal and amplify it. It was originally used for radio broadcasting and long distance telephones, but he later discovered that it could be used for film. In 1922, he designed the audio tube system for film and opened his own Phonofilm company, which produced a series of short films in New York. The company made 1,000 films in the span of 4 years. Lee DeForest tried to sell his invention to Hollywood, Universal, and Paramount, but they were not interested and declined the offer. In 1925, Western Electrics and Telephone invented the Vitaphone. It was a sound on disc system that would record on a series of 33 and 1/3 RPM discs. The two companies tried to sell the invention to Hollywood, but Hollywood again declined. However, they tried to sell the invention to Warner Brothers Studios, and they accepted it. In April of 1926, Warner Brothers and their financial assistant, Goldman Sachs, established the Vitaphone Corporation. Initially, there was never an intention to use the technology to create talking pictures. The idea was only to provide synchronized musical accompaniment for Warner Brothers films. However, in 1927, Warner Brothers announced that all their movies would include sound. Also in April of the same year, they built the first sound studio in the world. The production of The Jazz Singer began in May and was released on October 6, 1927, making it the first movie in history to have synchronized sound. Sound has significantly improved in modern cinema. Nowadays, we have digital sound, sophisticated wireless microphones, sound effects, editing equipment, and improved stereo surround sound systems in cinema, where the audience can enjoy the best sound experience on screen.